Hello, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Grab your coffee and get your notepad. Let's talk about a few things that's going on. It's been a really busy year. It's the 26th. We're counting down, getting ready for the new year. But there's still time to get some things done. And I know that everyone talks about resolutions and, I want to lose weight and I want to, take on something I've never done before. I want to jump, out of an airplane, blah, 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 blah. So we want to talk about those things, but we want to talk about small triumphs and taking things in small chunks so we can manage them. And I think sometimes we have this humongous goal. I want to travel to a different country or whatever, but we don't really know how to get started, right? So with that being said, I just wanted to take a minute to really talk about some of those things. Another thing I want to talk about is a little bit of etiquette because had some conversations with some friends and family about etiquette, and someone actually in my family was a little bit confused and thought RSVP meant you responded if you could attend. And so if you have a New Year's Eve party that you've been invited to, or maybe, a book club to start the year or what have you, and it's every Thursday, I want you to really be considerate of the host and let them know if you can or cannot make it. RSVP does not mean you only respond if you can make it. It also means that you respond if you can't make it or if you're not sure. And so let people know. The other thing is, it is the 21st century. People do not, unfortunately, pick up the phone and have time to call 20 people or 5 people for that matter and let them know if they're that they're invited to a soiree or to a party, to a book club, to whatever. So here's the deal. People send out evites, they send out Facebook invitations, they send out texts. And in those forms of communication, you don't always get a letter or a card or an invitation in the mail anymore, nor do you always get a phone call. And it is convenient, and so we do have to change with the times. Yes, would a written, a formal invitation in the mail be great? Yes, that would be great. However, it's not always going to happen unless maybe it's a wedding or something like an anniversary party, a significant party. But a lot of the soirees and parties and gatherings and meetings that are happening are with digital communication. So therefore, you need to get with the times too and respond through whatever means you received that invitation. So if it's an evite, you respond for your evite. If you don't know right away, say maybe, and then you can change from a maybe to a no or to a yes. If you know right away, respond right away. It really just gives the host or hostess, a relief knowing, okay, I do need to feed this person, or I do need to have enough for this person. It's really a courtesy. So mind your manners. Manners matter, and let people know if you receive a text, just respond in a text back. Yes, I will be there. They want to hear from you. If they don't personally call you, it doesn't mean that they are not being mindful or that it wasn't of importance. It just means that maybe that's their preferred method of communication. It doesn't mean that they didn't care about you and that you don't matter. It just means that that's their preferred means of communication. It's that simple. Don't read more into it than's there. Don't take things personally. Get over yourselves. People are busy and they want to see you. They want to share events with you, and this is how they've chosen to reach out, and that's okay. So keep that in mind. The other thing, of course, we're going to move on quickly, moving on to organization. Many of you are in relationships that you have been living, cohabitating with your significant other. And that's awesome. I am not here to judge or preach or tell people to do anything. However, what I do want to say is it concerns me when people are living together because of the laws. And so should something tragic happen to you, I am concerned about life insurance for you. Are you the policy holder? I just am concerned. If your partner or your spouse don't make it home, or do you have a legal right to the house you're living in? Do you have the legal right to these things? You can go seek a lawyer. And I would recommend that. I'm not a lawyer, but this is my opinion, and I would recommend seeking a lawyer. If you cannot afford that, there are some really great resources on the internet. Again, I'm not a sponsor. This is my opinion. These are things that have worked for me, but LegalZoom, I've used that for selling property. I've also, or Law Depot, to write up a renter's agreement. You can do that. I've needed to do that before, but I know that wills are accessible online. I just want you to be covered, okay? So 2019, we don't know what's going to happen, do we? We don't know what's going to happen. Today is a gift. Tomorrow, I don't know, right? So be blessed and be prepared. Just be prepared. So try to get those things in order. It doesn't mean that on 1/1, life, you know, like, it's not going to implode, I don't believe, but I want you to be prepared. I want you to go into this year, go buy your fire safe. I have one that fits a lot of very important documents. It's tall, and it's heavy, and it's big, and it's for our passports, it's for our birth certificates, it's for our marriage license. It's a fire safe. We have cash, honestly, stashed in there. So, and our passports. And so all we have to do is grab our passports, and we each have money. So God forbid, right, that anything should happen in Washington, a hurricane, a tsunami, an earthquake, and we got to get the heck out of here. We're prepared. But with that being said, I also, I think about death, because that's a reality. And I know that a lot of people have gone through a lot of stuff lately. And so I want you to be prepared for that. If you have children that are going to college, I would highly recommend you get, and if you're signing any type of document saying that you're, a co-signer on a loan for college, I want you to please go get a policy on your child. Call eFinancial. Again, I don't work for them, but they're a great company. They can do an online or an over-the-phone type of an application. They have 35 to 40 different, they're a broker. They work with 35 to 40 different companies, and they can give you really, really, really good rates. And so I would recommend, if you're co-signing for a $100,000 loan, go get a $100,000 life policy. Here's the deal. God forbid your child, something happens, but it's a reality. It happens. And if you have co-signed for a loan, they still want their money. They want their money back. They do. I'm sorry. It's a college. They are in the business, most of them, and making money or replacing the money that they have spent. They want their money back. And I would hate for you to have to mourn the loss of a child, but then also have to pay back a $50,000 loan. So I'm just saying, if you co-sign at all, please get a policy for your child. Anyway, so Law Depot, LegalZoom, look into those. But also this time of year, not only your wills, but let's think about your insurances. Is there any way to save money anywhere? Or do you need to put more insurance on items like cars, like toys, like property, like your home? Has your home value gone up? Think about that. So employer taxes, 1099, things of that nature. So start looking now to find a good accountant things of those natures. So keep that in mind. These are just tips. These are things that I always think about this time of year. I kind of go through the laundry list of how am I doing? It's a temperature check. Where am I at? What are things that my husband and I need to talk about? What do we need to navigate for and through? So think about that. The other thing that I do want to talk to you about is a shoe fund. Okay, if you don't know what a shoe fund is, I will go into greater detail on another post at another time. But get a shoe fund, especially, I hate to say this, I don't want to be sexist, but especially you women out there. If you don't have a shoe fund, you are doing yourself a disservice. You just are. Because with the economy and with the world the way it is, and the temperature of the world, and how we are seen throughout the world, you should have some extra money stashed somewhere. You just should. You just should, as a woman, as a mother, as a wife. I am not saying that negativity or bad things are going to happen to you. What I'm saying is you should be prepared. And not only that, but I have had a shoe fund for years. And that shoe fund has allowed me to not only buy some shoes, which I love, but also has allowed me to take my children places that I would not ordinarily be able to take them. It has allowed me to have great Christmases without going into debt. It has allowed us to travel. It has allowed me to have girls' weekends. It has allowed me to go out for coffee or happy hour with friends. It's kind of spontaneously because I have had a shoe fund. And I would love to go into this in greater detail. If anyone ever wants to know, let me know, because I'm here to help. We know that tax season is coming. So if you don't already have your folders, this is a little tip that I have. I know you have to keep your documents for 7 years, right? So you have a Rubbermaid container, and in your Rubbermaid container, you have your little folders. And so you can get a black Sharpie and write the year on your folders. But if you are like single and no kids, or you're 10/40 easy, super duper, just one single pocket is probably good for you. If you maybe are, you've got some kids, or you're joint, maybe a 3 pocket. Okay. If you have multiple things going on, maybe you need many pockets. Maybe you've got a business or what have you. The point is that you would just write 2018 on your Sharpie or on a piece of tape, and you can take the tape off if you want to recycle and save tons of money, fine, whatever. But the point is every year you go in, when you put the 2018 in, you're going to take out the one that's 7 years old and toss it. Ding, 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 ding. What would that be? Like 2011? Any documents that are over 7 years, trash, shred, burn in the fireplace or in the fire pit. You don't need to keep them. Okay? So traditionally, you don't need to keep them. Don't sue me. Something, God forbid, happens. But that's just my tip, trying to, keep the clutter down, and getting ready for these things that are going to happen every single year. If you have a system, it's like clockwork, and every year you don't even have to go through the list, because eventually it'll become second nature to you. Okay, so that's all I have to say for right now, but I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's, and I hope to see you again very soon.